Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan here. We have a major update today from John Kennedy that you don't want to miss. He just came out and revealed the truth about everything going on right now, and he's calling out Democrats big time, okay? He's also coming out and revealing the truth about what's going on with Iran and potential presidential run. Okay, my friends? So we're going to dive into all of this, but before we do, we're going to read scripture and pray because God comes first. Amen? Comment amen if you believe that, truly believe that God comes first in your life. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Amen. And remember that God is with you everywhere you go. Amen. My brothers and sisters, congratulations to everyone who has begun investing in the stock market. The stock market has been soaring under President Trump. Numbers that we have never seen before. If you want to begin investing, we have a totally free offer right now that we've never had before. I will leave the link below so you can sign up on your phone. Or if you watch this on your TV, you can just actually take out your phone and point it at the QR code through your camera app, and you can find the link there too. You don't need any money to get started and take advantage of this economic boom under President Trump.
I sat down with Senator John Kennedy and asked him about a DC takeover, a possible presidential run in 2028, and much more. Take a listen. It is election day, especially here in Washington, D.C. The officials in D.C. have started counting ballots. We'll see if it takes as long as California did, or they're still counting. President Trump has threatened in saying that the federal government should take D.C. back if Democratic Socialist Janice Lewis George becomes the next mayor. What are your thoughts on that, but more broadly, whether D.C. can govern itself?
Well, there are two main candidates, as best I can tell. One is a normal person. One is a crazy person. I hope the normal person wins, though I believe in democracy, and if the people elect the crazy person, they're entitled to do that. But Congress and the president, the federal government has a certain jurisdiction over D.C., and we're not going to let the crazy person do crazy stuff if the crazy person wins.
What would you say to those who say that D.C. actually deserves statehood and that it's taxation without representation, given this current election and the situation, but what was happening before the president had it cleaned up?
I wouldn't support it. I don't think...
is it constitutional?
I don't think our founders... No, I wouldn't support it. I don't think our founders intended for the District of Columbia to be a state. They meant for it to be neutral territory, if you will. Now, if they want to go join Maryland and be part of a state, that's up to them. If they want to go join Virginia, that's up to them. But I'm not going to vote to make them a state. I don't think our founders intended that.
Switching gears to another crazy person story, as you just said, the New York Post reported this morning new revelations from the Southern Poverty Law Center fraud case. We know that the Department of Justice has indicted them after a grand jury found that they allegedly defrauded many of their, donors, saying that they were fighting hate while they were actually funding it. But making it worse, we're now finding out from this report that a now former top official funneled more than $1 million to her lover in the neo-Nazi National Alliance and helped prop up the organization after it basically had collapsed. So not only do we have this issue of the organization, but now we're seeing that there was some defrauding with love interests involved. Are you following?
Yeah, I am. They've lost their way. The center started out doing pretty good work, trying to fight hate in our country, which is something we all support. But then they decided to play top politics. And because of their politics, they decided that all Republicans were hate groups and all Democrats were love groups. And they apparently started, allegedly, as you say, though I think they did it, started paying the people that they hate to do the stuff that they hate so they could talk about hating them.
You spoke recently in New Hampshire.
I did.
2028 is around the corner.
Great New Hampshire. I love New Hampshire.
And why do you love New Hampshire? Do you think it's a place that you would go campaign?
Well, I was up there to help John Sununu, my friend, he's Senator John Sununu. He used to be in the Senate, and now he's trying to come back. I went up there to support him. That morning I was asked to come speak to a function. I think it's called Politics and Eggs. Mm-hmm. And we had a good time. Wonderful people asked me all kind of questions. I tried to
answer. Was one of those questions, are you running for president?
They did. They asked me about the presidential race, and I said,
Comment below. Do you think Senator John Kennedy would make a good president? Comment below.
I was honest with him. I said, look, I'm focused on the midterms. I'm planning on running for the United States Senate. But if you're asking me what if a lot of people enter the field, and I think they're goobers, and I think I can do a better job, would I consider running? And I said, well, sure. I mean, I've had some people talk to me about it. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. But remember that song by the Judds? Mm-hmm. Why not me? Why not me on a rainy day? Why not me to chase your blues away? That's kind of how I look at it. Why not me? But I'm not saying I'll do it.
Well, you said maybe potentially if there are goobers deciding to get in the race, who would that be?
I don't know. I mean,
What about Gavin Newsom?
A goober is like pornography. You can't define it, but you know a goober when you see it.
Speaking of elections, we're, of course, barreling towards the midterm elections. You mentioned you're focused on winning them. Of course, President Trump would like to keep his majority in Washington and not to get impeached for a third time, as House Democrats have said, if they were to take back power. But who do you see as the Democratic leader? Who is in charge of the party nationally?
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. She's ably assisted by Senator Bernie Sanders, by Mayor Mamdani. They've got a rookie that just joined the team, Graham Plattner. These folks they're socialists.
Are they socialists or more communists?
No, they're. I think they're more socialist. Communists. I mean, they're democratic socialists. They say they don't believe in revolution. They believe in socialism at the ballot box. I don't hate anybody, and certainly they're entitled to their opinion, but I'm entitled to my opinion. And I think, how can I put this? My advice to them, I think they will ultimately lose, and my advice to them is that their time would be better spent working at Panda Express and trying to work themselves up to management.
You, of course, have introduced us to your elliptical. You've named her Margaret Thatcher. Margaret. Somewhat of a fitness influencer. Did you think that was going to be in the cards for part of your resume?
They told me to make a video, and I was about to work out. And I said, okay, I want to get my staff off my back. I'll make a video about Margaret. Margaret is named after Margaret Thatcher because both kick butt and take names. Margaret's under my carport. I love Margaret. Like the devil loves sin. I'm on my third Margaret because I keep Margaret under the carport. I buy most of my Margarets off of Facebook Marketplace.
Me too. I buy all of my equipment, a lot of my furniture off Facebook Marketplace. Honestly, I really do. By the way, my friends, I know I haven't been posting in a little bit. I've been working on a new app to help you lose weight. I don't know if you guys know this, but I recently lost 30 pounds by getting leaner and by doing really basic exercises. I was around 192 pounds and now I'm right around 162, 165. I created this website to actually help you lose weight. It's called Lean Max. So if you want to try it out, it would be really helpful for me. Give me honest feedback on how it is. But you just take a photo of yourself, it analyzes your body fat, and it actually gives you a personalized plan to lose weight. You can see right here. Sorry for the shirtless photos, but I was actually able to get down to 30 pounds lighter just by using this simple formula. And you can do it right on your phone, and it's honestly very easy compared to, you don't need to put in a lot of hard work. It just gives you personalized, easy, and you get your own little personal coach as well. So check out LeanMax AI. Again, this is my company that I created, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, helping people get into better shape. I feel way better now, you know? It's like 30 pounds off my literal body. So it's called LeanMax AI. Click the link below if you want to try it out and give me some feedback as well. Okay, so John Kennedy is talking about Iran. This is really breaking news, my friends, so let's listen in.
Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy, and member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Sir, welcome to you. Welcome back to the program. So where do you stand on this deal? Do you like it?
Look, nobody's been a bigger Iranian hawk than me, but I think we ought to give peace a chance. I've listened to all the speculation all week. Why didn't it say this? Why did it say that? This is going to happen. This is going to happen. That's not going to happen. Look, nobody's clairvoyant. We all have to wait for the future. It's 60 days. Here's what we know. For 60 days, the strait's going to be open. For 60 days, Iran can sell oil. Iran has promised that it's going to get rid of all of its fissile materials, get rid of all of its centrifuges, and set up an inspection protocol so we can double check. And Iran is not going to get any money or any relief until they agree to do that. And the president said last night, I listened to him, he said in front of God and country, big as Dallas, I'm giving them 60 days. If they're jacking me around, then I'm going to bomb them again. The other thing we know today is that Iran's a hurting puppy. I mean, Iran is immeasurably weaker than they were a year ago. That's countries held together with duct tape and spit. We can go back in any time we want to. Now, final point, do I trust Iran? No. I've said this in another context. I trust Iran like I trust gas station sushi. But it's only 60 days, and I think we ought to give peace a chance.
All right, now President Trump has a message for all of us. Let's take a listen.
Rising market will do. Oh, it's going to get a lot higher. In fact, I told people 5 weeks ago, this is a great time to buy. I got criticized for that. Now they don't criticize me anymore. People should have listened. But it's going to go a lot higher. You're going to see, we've never had anything like this happen. It's an explosion.
Wow, so people doubted Trump, and we all just needed to listen. If you want to learn how to begin investing, we have a totally free offer right now. You can click the link below, or if you're watching this on your TV, you can take out your phone and scan that QR code. Just download the app. It's totally free to get started. It's never too late, and who knows, maybe you can even learn so you can help your children or your grandchildren as well. I believe this is the best time to start investing while Trump is president because he's the best leader, and the stock market has been hitting record numbers under his leadership. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. Take it as your sign. It's totally free, and I break it down easy for you. I even have a free tutorial that I created just for you. It's all in the description box or pinned in the comments.
Okay, Senator, this was more from the Vice President when he spoke earlier today on his hope that Iran will indeed hold up their end of the deal. Listen.
They certainly recognize that the United States has great leverage. Will that ultimately lead to a change in behavior? I don't know. I've seen skeptics of the deal. People say the Iranians will never change their behavior. Well, maybe that's true. And if so, they don't get any of the benefits of the bargain. But isn't it worth trying?
Sounds like you two align here. Give peace a chance. That being said, there are some questions over the 60-day period and what happens in that 60-day period. Case in point, the tolls. President Trump, Vice President Vance, the MOU makes it very clear that no tolls will be charged in that 60-day period, after which the two sides will have to mutually agree that that continues. But how do you enforce that? J.D. Vance took a question on that as well this morning. Listen.
We believe international waterways should be free of tolls, and that's been our position. That's what you see, of course, in the 60 days of the MOU. The MOU contemplates that the Omanis, the Iranians, and the Gulf Coast Coalition together will figure out a proper security framework for the Straits in the future. And what I mean by that is that we don't ever want this to happen again. That's about ensuring that the Straits are never used as a choke point for the global economy ever again.
I know this is something you watch closely, Senator, so what do you think about that?
Well, I think the vice president is right. As evidence, I would point you to Iran itself. There are whole swaths of Iran that look like the aftermath of a bar brawl. They look like something out of Mad Max 4. I mean it. That country is held together with spit and baling wire. They're on their knees. That didn't just happen. It happened because of Israeli and American bombs. And the president said last night, if they're jacking us around, I'm going back in and bombing again. Now, I think it's very important that if they do jack us around or they try to impose tolls, that the president do what he said he did, he's going to do, and go back in. And maybe this time we'll get some help from our friends in Europe that we protected since God was a baby with American taxpayer dollars. But when we needed their help to stop the Iranian threat, you couldn't have found them with a search party. You couldn't have found them on Google. Now, they say now they want to help. So if Iran doesn't come through and we go and we have to start the campaign again, maybe they'll actually help us this time and learn how to fight for a change.
Senator, you always offer us a very unique perspective.
Yeah, that's super interesting. So honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if, things actually just end up going in America's favor in this sense. And Senator John Kennedy says, if you don't know, shut up. It's actually crazy. He's not afraid to call this stuff out. Let's listen in, guys.
So with the deal secured, did the U.S. achieve what it set out to do? The Wall Street Journal editorial board writing, Mr. Trump's willingness to use military force when no one else would has set back Iran's nuclear program. Military and industrial base. The result isn't Obama Deal 2.0 because unlike in 2015, Iran's key nuclear facilities are in rubble and its enrichment of uranium has been halted for the first time in 20 years. But there's no denying that Mr. Trump is retreating from his main goals as political pressure is built at home and finishing the job requires greater military risk. So this boils down to three big questions. What was the main goal? What did it take to accomplish that goal? And are Americans willing to pay the price if more is required to achieve that goal? Joining me now is Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy. Senator, thanks for being with us here today. Let's get your reaction. From what you know so far to this memorandum of understanding, what is your reaction to this potential deal?
Well, here's what I know, Will. All day long, members of the media in Washington have been running around like lizards on a hot rock. What do you think about the agreement? What do you think about the deal? What if the deal says that? What if the deal doesn't do this? And I'll tell you what I told them. If you don't know, shut up. None of us have seen the document. Here's what I do know. Based on what we've done and what the president and vice president have said. I know that the Strait of Hormuz is now open. The blockade on both sides has been lifted. I know that the price of oil and therefore the price of gasoline is coming down. I know that the document is conceptual, about a page and a half. It's basically a deal to make a deal. I know that Iran is immeasurably weaker than it was a year ago. We have bombed the crap out of them. There are huge swaths of Iran that look like something out of Mad Max 4. Iran has never been weaker. We've destroyed most of their nuclear program that we know about. Their fissile material, most of it anyway, is buried underneath the earth. We've destroyed a lot of their missiles and their drones and their production plants. It'll take 20 years for Iran to recover, and I don't know where they're going to get the money. China's not going to give it to them. We're not. Russia won't give it to them. Now, here's what I don't know. Will Iran make a deal? I don't know. Based on their history, we may be wasting the next 60 to 90 days. These religious zealots that run Iran, they learn to lie before they learn to talk. They think they're on a mission from God. They do. They're crazy as a bedbug. And in the past, they've always lied and refused to cooperate. But if they don't cooperate, we have devastated that country so badly. They have no air defenses. We can fly anywhere we want to. If they start their nuclear warheads program again, we will know immediately, and we can bomb the crap out of them again. And I think the world is safer after what America has done, and that's just my opinion.
So really quickly, Senator, it sounds like you know this as well as I do, Senator. There are some critics, not just within the media or on the left, but on the right, and right there, not just in the media, but around you on Capitol Hill, Republicans who are concerned about what they know of as the potential details of this deal. Sounds like your response is, look, mission accomplished in many of the ways that was laid out. Iran has been set back 10, 15, 20 years. And if the strait is now open, even if they don't live up to a deal or the deal doesn't live up to your expectations, we have in many ways accomplished victory?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never thought that we would be able to get their fissile material without sending in American troops. And I was very hesitant about that. I've never thought Iran's going to step up and say, okay, you're right, we're giving up our ambition to have a weapon. And if they said it right now, I wouldn't believe them. Look, there are limits to what we could do, but we did what we needed to do. And let me say it again. Iran looks like something out of Mad Max 4. They're a lot weaker than they were, and therefore the world's a lot safer.
This is what Trump said.
You better go out and buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody's ever seen before. Rising market will do. Oh, it's going to get a lot higher.
I've been investing heavily into the stock market. Right now, we have a completely free offer for you. If you want to start investing, if you want to join in on this economic boom of a lifetime, click the link below. Or you can now take out your phone and you can open up your camera app and scan this QR code, and it will pop up a link where you can download the app, and it is totally free. I'm not selling you on anything at all. This is just an app that I personally use. So you can scan that or click the link below to start investing. It's very beginner friendly. You can start with $5. You can even start with $1. So get signed up in a couple minutes. Your future self will thank you.
All right, Senator Kennedy.
Wow, that is insane, guys. So it seems like John Kennedy, he really understands what's going on right now. And take a look at this. He says, I trust the Iranian government like I trust gas station sushi. Okay, let's listen in.
I think we ought to give peace a chance. And that's all I'm saying today. You're entitled to your opinion, but all I'm saying today is I think we ought to give peace a chance. I've, all week long, even before the memorandum came out, I've heard all the speculation about the agreement, the rank speculation. I've listened to people say, well, I don't like this and I don't like that, and this is in it and it shouldn't be, and this isn't in it and it should be, and if we do this, this is going to happen. And it's all rank speculation. The people offering these points of view, to which they're entitled, they're not clairvoyant. They're not any more clairvoyant than I am. Just like me, they have to wait for the future, like everybody else. Here's what I see in the document. The only certainty, the only practical, real consequence of this document is that for 60 days, America has removed its blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. And for 60 days, Iran has removed its blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, which means ships containing oil and natural gas and fertilizer can go back and forth just like they were before the conflict started. The other practical consequence is that Iran will be able to start selling its oil again for 60 days. The other thing that we're certain of is that as a result of this agreement, the price of oil is going down. And as a result of that, the price of gasoline is going down. And as a result of the Strait of Hormuz being open, the price of fertilizer, for example, and other commodities that go back and forth through the Strait of Hormuz are coming down, and that's a good thing. And that's all we know. That's the only practical consequence of this document. Now, in the document, Iran says that it is willing to negotiate for 60 days to get rid of its fissile material that it can use to make a nuclear weapon, including but not limited to its centrifuges that it uses to enrich the uranium. And in the document, Iran says we're willing to renounce our desire to have a nuclear weapon. And in the document, Iran says for 60 days, we're willing to negotiate some sort of inspection protocol so that the world can go in and make sure that Iran is telling the truth. They've got 60 days to do it. Not 160, not a year. They've got 60 days. And President Trump has said if they don't do it, I think his expression was, I'll start dropping bombs on their head again. That's the other thing that we know. Now, this might be a good time, Mr. President, to say that as I've said all week, and as I've said in another context before, I trust the Iranian government like I trust gas station sushi. The Iranian government, not the Iranian people, the Iranian government are a bunch of religious nuts. Their religion tells them that if you and I or anybody don't agree with all the tenets of their religion, that they want to kill you and hurt you the entire time you're dying. As far as I'm concerned, if your religion tells you in order to be devout you have to kill somebody, you probably ought to get another religion. My experience with the Iranian government, not the Iranian people, is that they lie like they breathe. They lie like fish swim. They learned to lie before they learned to talk. But you know what? They've got 60 days to prove otherwise. 60 days, not 160, not a year. They've got 60 days to prove otherwise. And if they don't prove it, the bombing is going to start again. I heard President Trump say it last night. Big as Dallas, right there on television. They got 60 days. And if they don't do it, If they're jacking me around, I'm going to start bombing again. The other thing that I'm certain of today is that Iran is immeasurably weaker than it was a year ago, than it was before the United States and Israel bombed their nuclear facilities last June, and before the conflict that we've watched transpire over the last couple of months. Immeasurably weaker. There are whole swaths of Iran that look like the aftermath of a bar brawl. There are entire regions in Iran that look like something out of Mad Max 4. We have bombed the living bejesus out of them. We haven't destroyed all their missiles, but we've destroyed a bunch of them. We've destroyed their weapons production factories. We've destroyed their entire Navy. We've destroyed a lot of their drones. We have just given them a curb stomping. Hated to do it, but we did what we have to do. The private sector, Iran's got, I don't know how anybody's eating or living in Iran. They've got 70% inflation, huge unemployment. Iran today, and I regret this, but it had to be done. Iran today, its public and private sector, is held together with spit and duct tape. And all the president has done is say, okay, for 60 days, I'm going to give peace a chance and give you a chance to do what you say you're going to do, 60 days. That's it. I hope it works out. I've got my doubts. But the president's taken a big risk here. And he's been roundly criticized by my Democratic friends, which I don't really get. You know, since the conflict started, my Democratic colleagues have been offering bill after bill after bill to stop the conflict and to take the authority away from the executive branch to prosecute it. I don't know how many bills, a squillion. Bill after bill after bill. They haven't passed. But now that the president has done it, the Democrats are unhappy. The New York Times, I was reading the New York Times this morning. I mean, they're just bashing this agreement, which they've been asking for. Now, I don't mean any disrespect, but I discount what's in the New York Times because I know the folks running the New York Times. And the folks running the New York Times hate Republicans as much as the devil loves sin. The New York Times, the people running the New York Times, would endorse a dead armadillo over a live Republican if the dead armadillo had a D behind its name. That's just the way it is. I get it. They're entitled to their opinion. And the New York Times has been called many things, some good, some bad. They've never been called unbiased. That's just a fact. It goes with the turf. And once again, this is America. You're entitled to your opinion. But I wanted to come down this morning and say, Mr. President, I think we ought to give peace a chance. I think we ought to give peace a chance. It's only 60 days. And we're just going to have to trust the president on this one. But we'll know soon. And I hope it works. I hope our giving peace a chance makes peace possible. Mr. President, my work here is done. I can see myself out.
Now, President Trump just came out to address the nation. Let's listen in.
The stock market has set a 51, think of this, 51 all-time record highs during the last 10 months. 51. You guys are big beneficiaries. You're setting the records, right? It's amazing. 51 times we've hit a new high. And in the history of our country, if you think about it, 51 times during the last 10 months.
I've been investing heavily into the stock market. Right now, we have a completely free offer for you. If you want to start investing, if you want to join in on this economic boom of a lifetime, click the link below. Or you can now take out your phone and you can open up your camera app and scan this QR code, and it will pop up a link where you can download the app, and it is totally free. I'm not selling you on anything at all. This is just an app that I personally use. So you can scan that or click the link below to start investing. It's very beginner friendly. You can start with $5. You can even start with $1. So get signed up in a couple minutes. Your future self will thank you.